So I was just guided to share as I sit here having this coffee on this very rainy afternoon in Arizona to share with you some real talk. There is only one source, and you are that. When I say you, it's not the small you, it's you are here now as the oneness that you are. Manifestation no longer is a thing. It is complete. It is done. It is already here. The last missing piece to your puzzle is you fully knowing that. Be still and know. Be still and know. Not chase, not try to fix, not try to find, not try to figure out, not try to heal more, not try to do more. The word trying is highlighted here because in the very act of you trying, you are holding it all outside of you. Are you not? When you are trying, are you not holding it all outside of you and basically stating from your internal state is stating that you don't, that you're not it, that it's not part of your experience? When you are all of this, so this isn't just your run of the mill quantum mechanics, quantum manifestation, quantum leaping. That would be so much easier for you if you were just quantum leaping. This is quantum ascension into your highest divine reality because you can quantum shift from one reality. You're doing that all the time, all day long. You're in every now moment. Each choice is another quantum shift down a timeline. Each perception shift is a new timeline. So you're always quantum shifting. You're always quantum leaping into a timeline. The problem for many listening to this is you keep quantum shifting into a timeline that is reflecting back more doubt, lack, scarcity, or unworthiness in some way, because that's what you are emanating, because you're still operating from a perceived void or lack or scarcity, or that you need something outside of yourself, seeking that external gratification and validation, approval, or acceptance. And the more you do that, the more you actually repel what it is that is actually in your heart of hearts as your God given desires. You're actually pushing them away, you're repelling them. Just like a magnet attracts, you're actually repelling them. So this isn't just your run of the mill quantum shift. This quantum leap that you're taking at the edge of the cliff is a complete surrendering of all control, a complete death of the me, the small self, the one that sees itself as this separate being walking around, and everyone else is separate from you, and you are separate not only from everyone else and everything else, but also from the God source within you. There's nothing outside of you. There's nothing outside of you. Only through the mind, only through thought, only through the perception of the separate self is there a subject object relationship with the world where you try to manifest something and bring it closer into your experience. That is backwards from how the 5D timeline works, from being anchored in unity consciousness. Can you see? Can you see how if you're trying to manifest something outside of you, you are and trying to bring it into your world, into your experience, whether that be a new career or a relationship or more money, you are actually repelling it because you're holding it outside of you. You're also putting it on a pedestal as if it's important when you already are it. So you're doing everything in reverse. I share this all the time. Your 5D New Earth timeline is the opposite of what you have been trained to believe thus far. And this includes all of the manifestation that you've picked up, manifestation techniques that you've picked up along the way on your quote unquote spiritual journey. They got you to a point of where you are now and to a point of being able to believe in something beyond the world of form. If you're sitting here now listening to this, you have some belief in the unseen, but you're still giving your power away. You're still looking out in the world of form and giving it all of your power and saying you need X, Y, or Z. And or you're looking out into the world of form and you're letting that dictate how you feel in your temple, which is basically a broadcast signal. And then you're putting out a broadcast signal that is rooted in your old timeline, rooted in the past, because there is a delay with your 3D world that you see through the eyes catching up with the frequency that you're emitting. So you will have a delay. So if you keep looking outside in the 3D world, using that as your barometer of what is available to you and allowing that to dictate the inner state that you are emanating from, you will continue to loop in the old cycle of lack or scarcity or unworthiness or whatever your story is. You will continue to loop in that because you're doing it all backwards, because you are giving all of your power away outside of you, quote unquote, outside of you. There is no outside of you. At the end of all of this manifestation journey, there will be no outside of you. You are it. You are all of this. And when you see that you are all of this and that you are not only the form, but also the formless, you will see that you are giving everything to yourself. And everything that you used to think was outside of you, you will see through that illusion. Ultimately, what you're doing is you're giving it to yourself. You are already it. You've just been holding it away from you out of your 3D experience because you are still operating from a separate sense of self, which is coming from lack and fear and says it is not you and it is outside of you. But you are all of this. When you are all of creation and form and the formless, there is nothing else to do. There is no trying here. The very act of trying repels what it is that is in your highest divine alignment, because that's the ego coming in the back door, the egoic mind that thinks it needs to figure things out. And so you can muddy up the waters, so to speak, as much as you want, and it'll feel like a lot of struggle and resistance on your path. The more you give your power away, the more you seek outside of yourself for proof, for validation, because the external world is a mirror, not a window. It's not going to be able to reflect back to you until you know it to be true within you of what you are available for in this life. And if you are no longer available for lack, scarcity, or fear based conditioning, then you have the power to create that as your inner reality. And that will then reflect back externally in the world of form, but only after you are fully embodied and anchored in it. And there will be a delay. So you keep getting stuck in the looping because you're looking externally outside of yourself for proof or validation, and and you're giving more awareness to the external world of form instead of the power of the unseen. It is called faith for a reason. If you want to shortcut all of this, you anchor in the faith and truth of what you already know, and you call back all of your power. The more you look outside of yourself for another technique and another book or another affirmation or another thing, it can help you to a point, on this journey, but at a certain point, all of that becomes a crutch. And now you're just the separate sense of self doing another thing, doing another meditation, doing another tapping video, listening to another tarot video, like trying to figure it out by watching another this or that. At a certain point, all of that becomes a crutch on your journey. That's why women naturally find me when they've been on the healing journey for a long time and they realize that it's just becoming this never ending hamster wheel that they can't jump off of. And they're still seeing cycles repeat like Groundhog's Day in their reality. That's when they are drawn to me. They have exhausted themselves usually. Is most of them fly into my containers exhausted to some degree of this never-ending hamster wheel, whether that be the healing journey or always striving. And I work with a lot of visionaries and creatives and leaders and entrepreneurs, and they're just always stuck in the hamster wheel of striving, proving, performing, hustling, trying to figure everything out. This never ending journey of personal development, this never ending. You're not on a personal development journey anymore if you're listening to this. Your personhood, your physical vessel that houses all of the conditioned patterns and stuff that you've believed in ignorance along the way. And I say this with love because this is just the human condition. In ignorance, we have, and divinely contracted, we have had amnesia and forgot our truth, and all of the conditioning that we've picked up along the way that have been telling us basically the opposite of the truth of who we are. All of that gets unwound. That purification process happens naturally. You're not on a never ending personal development journey. You're not on a never ending healing journey. You don't need to keep fixing yourself. At a certain point on this journey, that can feel beneficial and it can serve in certain releases and emotional cleanses and energetic cleanses and stuff like that. And yes, it's all beautiful. But at a certain phase on this journey, that also becomes a crutch because now you're just stuck in the never ending hamster wheel. You have collapsed into the timeline where there is just more for you to heal. You have collapsed into the timeline where you're on the never ending personal development journey and there's more for you to figure out. And those timelines are available to you for as long as you choose them to be your point of perception. And you can go down those rabbit holes and they will lead you back home eventually to the truth of who you are, which is the love and the abundance and everything that you are seeking. This is why when you come into inner union, you will not have the longing or the needing or the desires that are you're pining for right now. I'm sorry, those will diminish. And your ego right now that's being triggered, that's like, oh shit, well, if I don't have this pining desire for my soulmate or this person or that job or that career or that money or that lifestyle, then I'm never going to get it. And then I'm never going to be able to enjoy my life. This is what the ego is saying, is it not? The ego is selling you a false narrative. The ego is baiting you and you're biting the bait, you're eating it, hook, line, and sinker. And that brings you down another rabbit hole that eventually leads to, after you exhaust yourself, another cycle. Because there'll always be another cycle. There'll always be another opportunity for you to come home for yourself. You can't get this wrong. If you go down another rabbit hole, you go down another rabbit hole. You have another cycle that will eventually bring you back home to the truth of who you are. So there's no wrong. What I'm suggesting here is that if you're listening to this and you're being activated by this and there's a remembrance rising within you and or your ego is being triggered, it might be time for you to go inward and find the source of love and power and truth within thyself and stop feeding the incessant addict in your head, in your mind, that constantly needs another fix, whether that be in the form of a person, a situation, a circumstance, another YouTube video, or anything like that. You don't need someone like me in your experience, but I can say I've had them in my own experience as well. Sacred mirrors activate you and can shine a light on all of the untruths. So it's only if you resonate with someone, whether me or someone else, if you resonate on a core level, then I am a sacred mirror for you. And what I'm saying is activating something on a deeper level, activating remembrance codes within you. And that will also ruffle your egoic feathers, so to speak, because all of the crutches you've been holding onto this whole time must fall away in order for you to enter into your highest divine reality. And it's not like you have a choice in this matter. Your soul already opted in to be a new earth leader. You already opted into the 5D ascended timeline and beyond 5D in this lifetime. But right now, humanity is tipping into 5D unity, consciousness, new earth timeline at the end of 2025, 2026 are very catalytic years of alchemy, releasing, letting go, and opening to receive the divine abundance, love, and prosperity that you are not chasing, not seeking, not trying to figure out, not trying to fix, not trying to do any of that shit. You fully being the one that is already one with it, which and it makes you instantaneously magnetic to what is actually in alignment for you, your highest alignment. But there is only one way. If you want to work together and you are ready to shift into your highest 5D timeline and you want support on your journey that does not play in the 4D or the 3D. You're here to live your highest divine reality in the 5D. I have a few ways that you can work with me. Right now, I'm feeling called to share Embody the Empress as my membership. You can find the link wherever you're listening to this. This gets you access to 4 or 5 live calls with me every single month, depending on how many Saturdays there are each month. Plus, you get a sisterhood community, and you can learn more about that wherever you're listening to this. There's a link. Rise Sister Rise is my leadership container. This is for those who know they're here to lead New Earth. You're here to be in your sacred visibility, sharing your divine magic and genius with the world. And you're ready to quantum shift out of that sacred in between phase where nothing makes sense into your highest divine timeline. You're definitely feeling called to leadership. Then that's Rise Sister Rise container. And at the time of this recording, Thursday, October 9th, there's a bundle, the Magical and Magnetic to Impact Millions bundle, which expires on Friday, 10/10 at midnight, where you get access to not only a full year of Embody the Empress and the 13-week immersion Rises to Rise, but you also get lifetime access to the temple. So that's a smoking bundle deal that's only going to be available through Friday night. So you have to actually message me the word magical on Instagram at spiritual CEO. I only want women who are committed to their path and fully devoted to their calling. So that being said, DM me the word magical if it feels like that's calling to you, and we can chat and see if it's a fit. And if it is, I'll give you the page link over on Instagram. So that's it for now. I hope this finds you well. Namaste.